Hello, welcome to the channel. This video is talking about relative clauses. Let's get started. This is the second part of relative clauses. Today we talk about three different things. Number one, defining relative clauses, as well as some relative pronouns such as which, why, and that, and also some relative adverbs. Let's take a look. Defining relative clauses. So, some relative clauses used to identify a color blue, and the color blue in the main clause, like this. Okay, so for example, they are used to say exactly what or who we are talking about. Example: the runner, what runner? Who is in the lead is starting to look tired. Without this part, who is in the lead, it is not clear which runner we are talking about. So, this phrase, who is in the lead, is defining relative clause. Also, some people call it identifying relative clauses. Then, how do we use relative pronouns? Let's take a look. How many are there? Relative pronouns such as that, which, who, whom, whose. How to use them? We use them to introduce relative clauses. First, the word that or which. First, the word that and which for things. Example: we want to see the film. Which you recommend or that you recommend. That is something to difference between using that and which. For the word which, we have only one of this item, and we mention this particular item, then we use the word which. However, if we have a bunch of items and the one we just mentioned is just one of them, then we use the word that. Alright, let's take a look at some other things. We use relative pronouns who for people. The word that is sometimes also possible, but using the word who is absolutely much better. For example, they knew the runner who finished last in the race. We could also use another relative pronouns whom when we refer to object of a verb of a color red. But this is rather formal or quite old-fashioned. In modern English, we simply use the word who instead of whom. Okay, the example: the runner whom they supported finished last, or the runner who they supported finished last. Okay, then the next one, whose. Whose show possessions. Something belongs to that particular blue. It replaces possessive adjective like mine, your, his, her, its, or possessive apostrophe s in relative clauses. Do you know the boy? Whose essay? So, the essay belongs to the boy, whose essay was published in the Young Post. Also, after prepositions, it's better to use the word whom. Let's take a look. The runner, for whom they were cheering, won the race. Now, bear in mind, this is actually a prepositional phrase, function like a color yellow, telling you more about the runner. This whole part is a color yellow, prepositional phrase. However, inside this color yellow, whom they were cheering, it's just part of the prepositional phrase, but it is a color blue, a noun clause. Now, although the question word whose is used for people when you are asking a question, however, when it is using as a relative pronouns, we could describe it for things as well as people. Let's take a look. The actor is in a TV series whose name I don't remember. Then, how do I use relative adverbs and what are they? Let's take a look. We also use relative adverbs such as where, when, and why to introduce relative clauses. Very straightforward. The word where is for places. That's the restaurant where I met him. Where I met him. This relative clause is telling you more about the restaurant we are talking about. We use when for time. I remember the day when I met him. When I met him is telling you more about the day. And why is for reasons. But I can remember the reason why I agreed to meet him. There's one more thing we have to be careful about the relative adverbs where. After the relative adverbs where, we don't finish it with a prepositions. Let's take a look. This is the town where I grew up. But we can't say this is the town where I grew up in. So you can see, consider changing to up like this. Okay? Otherwise, it will be having a mistake. Okay, that's all for today. Like this video and subscribe our channel. See you next time. Goodbye.